Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Jack O'Halloran. A lot of people know him from Superman, King Kong, Dragnet, but there's something about Jack you might not know. He is the son of Albert Anastasia.
Yourself in it, walk down the street like you, and just be real, be yourself. And it worked pretty well, you know. But, I remember the first shot that we ever did, and they started moving the cameras around and stuff. And I said to him, Robert, what's this all about? What are they doing? He said, you really don't know. I said, what am I asking you for? He said, that's it, kid. That's all there is to this. I said, are you kidding me? That's all there is to this stuff? He said, yeah. I said, oh, man, I'm a star. And that became like a tagline to the film. And then when the first day, at the end of the day, I had to do a shot, and he was gone. You know, he was dismissed. And I'm saying to myself, how the hell am I going to get home? I came with him. No way he's hanging around. He probably went home. Yeah. So I go down, I get changed and all, and I said, wow, where's the car place? Well, how do I get out of here? So I go around to the carpool joint where I parked there all the cars, and there's Mitchum standing against the car, rapping with the driver, smoking a cigarette. I said, wow, man, I thought you were home already. He said, well, I can't go home without the star now, can I?
I need to bring the star home.
Yeah. And he just became, we became super friends. And he was just great for my career. That was awesome. Then I went on to do King Kong, and I did a lot of great movies, one after the other. And it worked out pretty well.
What came first? After your first movie, what movie came next?
King Kong.
And how was that?
Farewell. I made a bad mistake with Farewell, my lovely, because after the film was put together and was out, it was a very good movie. And Mitchum said, you know, you can get nominated for supporting actor, Jack. And I said, what? He said, yeah, man. He said, I'm going to say, he set a meeting up with Johnny Carson at the Polo Lounge. And he said, you go sit down and talk to John, have lunch with him. He said, you do his show and you'll get nominated. So I went and I sat down, and Carson was a great guy. We sat and had a chat. Ed McMahon was with him, and I knew Ed McMahon from Philadelphia. And I looked at him. I said, you know, your show is live, isn't it? And he said, yeah. They didn't tape then. They did live shows. I said, I don't think I can do your show. He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, I'm going to come out on your show, and you're going to ask me about my father, and I'll ask you where the men's room's at. He said, you would get up and leave? I said, yeah, I would get up and leave. I said, you know, I don't want anybody talking about my father. I don't talk about that. I said, and I had just come off the streets, and I was worried about putting this stuff out on national television, man.
Yeah.
And Mitchum called me on the phone. He said, are you out of your mind? He said, Jack, this is Hollywood. They love that stuff. I said, yeah, you with your big mouth telling everybody. He said, no, man. He said, you're crazy. You should have done the show. And he was right, because his picture is a great movie. And I would have gotten nominated. I had a chance of winning supporting Oscar that year. So it was my first mistake in the film industry. But, you know, you just go on with life.
Could have put you on the spot, though. You never know what could have happened during that show.
That's the reason why I was just protecting myself. Is one of the way I knew how to do it. And I did Kong, and I did a lot of great movies. I worked with some tremendous actors. I'm very lucky. Jeffrey Bridges and Charlie Grodin when King Kong, a great cast of people in the film. And Jessica. I knew Jessica was going to be a star the first day she walked on the set.
Oh, you did?
Oh, Jessica the camera loved her. She was just she was a radiant, great lady. She is still today a great lady. So, and I worked with Omar Sharif and Jimmy Coburn and Brando and Gene Hackman. And I did a couple movies with Hackman. And, you're working with great talent. You learn a lot. Chuck Norris was a good kid. I did Hero and the Terror with him. And then did that with Aykroyd. Aykroyd was terrific. We had a lot of fun with Dragnet.
Yeah.
It was Tom Hanks' breakout movie. Tom Hanks' first real big film.
Shout out to Tom Hanks. Maybe I could get him on my show eventually.
Good guy. Let me tell you, what a super nice guy. Really is.
Yeah.
Tom's a gentleman. He's a good guy.
Someday maybe I'll be able to interview him.
Just reach out, tell him I said hello. He's a
Yeah,
good guy.
well,
Tom's a good guy.
definitely. So once you're doing all these movies, are you getting recognized when you go out in public? What's it
Oh
like
yeah,
when you go
yeah,
out?
yeah. I mean, but I just never, it just I had been through all that with sports and everything else, and so I just I never paid much attention to it, and I never did a lot of publicity. That was another thing. It was foolish of me. I should have done a lot of talk shows and stuff when I was coming up as an actor because I did some great movies, and each one was its own special entity. And I just I handled it. I didn't. I picked and choose what I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
I never had to read for a film. People just I automatically was given parts and stuff, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, because they wanted you involved, like
Yeah,
because I mean you're amazing talent and I mean look at all the movies you've been in. So what
yeah.
was it like when you got offered to do Superman? What
I was
did you
doing a
think?
picture. I was doing a picture down in Spain, March or Die, Hackman, with Gene Hackman and Catherine Deneuve, and some great Max von Sydow and Ian Holm. Had a great cast. And the Italian kid that was a big star over in Italy, Terrence Hill, and we were doing that down in Morocco and Spain. And they sent me the script for Superman, and they flew us up to meet Richard Donner, the director. And he said, "We really want you to do this film." He said, "How do you feel about playing a guy?" The character that I was doing was a major scientist, and they lobotomized him because he was involved with Zod. So the character was a mute guy. And he said, "How do you feel about playing a person who's mute like that and was lobotomized?" I said, I embraced that because he said, "What?" I said, I said, Jackie Gleason was a friend of mine, and he did a picture called Gigo, and he won an Oscar playing the deaf dumb mute. I said, if I ever got a role that allowed me to use body language and facial expressions, I would embrace it like unbelievable. This is a great part because Zod is a vicious general. And Sarah's a man eater. Somebody had to relate to the kids because of a big child audience. So I took this big brutish guy and I played him like a child, learning how to work his eyes and doing childlike mannerisms. And it worked out very well.
Yeah, I mean there's action heroes of you and here I'll show
And
one of
it worked really well. I mean, I remember the first time I did a Comic-Con in reference to Superman, and a guy come up to say hello to me, wanted to shake my hand and stuff, and I said, "Yeah, man." We started talking. He said, "Oh my God, you can actually talk."
Yeah, because people think that some of these movies, they think it's real, like it's real life. They don't,
Well,
some people
evidently thought I
don't.
couldn't talk.
So
So,
here's an action figure of you.
yeah, they got all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah, here's one of
It made
the.
us it made us iconic actors. When we did that film, and the two Superman films, they are the best that were done.
So do you remember this picture?
Oh, yeah, that's Dragnet.
Dragnet. How
That
was
was,
that working
that
on
was
Dragnet?
we had a lot of fun. Danny Aykroyd was amazing. He just walked around with an earpiece. He did Jack Webb so well. Boy. The one line. You could watch Dragnet 50 times, and you still wouldn't get all the one-liners that Danny threw out in that picture. It was just we had a lot of fun. Like I said, it was Tom Hanks' first breakout movie, and Tom was great. It was a great cast.
I'm gonna go watch it after this interview.
Oh, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie to watch.
Yeah,
it really is. That's a fun movie.
I absolutely love that movie.
Yeah,
So
we had a lot of fun.
after Dragnet, did you continue? Did you want to keep going with the acting? What was your?
Yeah, I did a couple films after that. Then I got into writing, and I decided I was going to write that book, Family Legacy, and it was time to tell a story. And you know, and I would do a little film here and there for friends of mine that asked me to do things and stuff. And because I had a script that I wrote that I'm going to, when we get done doing Family Legacy, I'm going to go do this picture in Ireland called Ballad of a Simple Man. It was a film called The Informer done in the 30s where Victor McLaughlin won an Oscar, won 4 Oscars. John Ford directed it, and it was a classic film. So I took the book and I rewrote another script off of the book, and it turned out extremely well. And I've been playing with getting it done for 40 years, and it's time to do it and get it over with. And I got up to bat a few times, but Mitchum was going to come and do it with me and some other people, and just something always happened, and it just didn't get done. But it's a great film, it's a great script, and we'll do it after we do this, after Family Legacy is done.
Yeah, so Family Legacy, what's the basis of Family Legacy?
That's another Godfather. I mean, in fact, it's better than The Godfather because it's about the real Godfather, you know, so and it works out pretty well. You know, it's we're going to tell a lot of truth about a lot of things, of changes that happened in the country, you know, from the time my father died. So it goes from my father's death to Kennedy's death. And we tell the truth about a lot of things. So it's and people, you know, people deserve to know the truth about things, and they want to know. You know, they get told so much crap by social media that's they control people's minds. You know, people sit in front of a television every day to watch the news, and they don't understand that the news is made to make awards. They never really tell you the truth about everything that's going on in the world. Tell you what they want you to know.
I can definitely see the family resemblance in Anastasia.
Abba was a trippy man. He was a trippy man. He was a lot. He was okay. Very smart guy.
Yeah, he had a lot of businesses going, and
yeah, he actually in Pennsylvania. He owned a dress factory in outside of Philadelphia. He owned the factory that made dresses for women and stuff. He owned businesses all over the place. He was a pretty clever guy.
And you were saying that after he passed away, the lawyer gave you a manifesto of his life.
My mother, he left me a whole deal, and my mother gave it to me, and he left it for me. 256 pages of everything that was going on and how things changed and why they changed. He saw it coming. He knew what was going on. He was on top of a lot of things, a lot more than people realize. And it was very sad. It was a change of an era. You know, a lot of things changed after his death, and not for the good, but for the worse.
Definitely. So, I look forward to seeing this movie in production, and I can't.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time with it. We got another little film we're gonna do called Red River in Nevada. It's a horror picture with a great Faust twist to it. And I kind of like the script a lot. We're gonna do that.
Let me know. I'll lend a hand any way I can. I'll hold a microphone, whatever. No job too small for me.
I hear you, my friend. It's we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's when we're building a studio in Nevada, which is going to be great for the industry. So it's there's just a lot of good things that are going to come about by the end of 2023, and very necessary. And this film is a necessary film to put the truth about a lot of things out there, and it's a real story. You know, and it's going to be good. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, a lot of times people try to skew history and they don't know the facts of what really happened.
That's true. That's very true.
It's all good. But so is there any links or anything that people can check out your book or anything like that?
They can go to familylegacythenovel.com. There's a site that's up in familylegacythenovel.com, takes you right to Amazon to the book, and and tells a lot of story about the book and what this whole thing's about. It's
And
we're
you
gonna have
said
a lot of fun.
they can get signed pictures and things like that on your website too, right?
Yeah, they just reach out to me through the website, and I'll take care of business.